Is it working? Did we do it?
I can't even tell.
Okay, I think so.
Okay, good.
Yes, because I got a notification somewhere that says Dami is live. So perfect. We did it. Okay.
Ooh.
Let me make sure. Okay, good. That is going over here. Perfect. All right. Well, if anyone's here, this is like an early stream too, like 4:30 on a Friday. But hello, my name is Dami, and I am writing today, and we have a guest.
Hi.
Caitlin, would you like to introduce yourself? Tell us what you're working on.
My name is Caitlin. I also have a author tube channel. I'm currently working on a dark fantasy book / series potentially, and we don't know what's going on anymore, but we're gonna try our best.
Because you were just telling me that you are kind of like stuck trying to like rework it, like you're reworking it a little bit.
Okay, yeah. So the original premise of my book was a sapphic Persephone / Hades retelling within Chinese mythology, but I've decided that there are certain elements of the story that are very heavy, and I'm like, I kind of want to have a different kind of writing process where it's more fun.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is leading me to want to re-outline this whole book. I'm currently at the end of Act 1. I'm following the 3-act
Okay.
structure,
Yeah.
and so I'm around like 28,000 K words into draft 1, and yeah, I'm trying to see what I
Yeah.
want to do with Act 2.
Yeah, no, I totally feel that. Hi there, everybody. Hi, Margot. Hi, Rose. Hi, Miley. Saoirse. Did I say it right this time? But hi, Saoirse. Hope you're doing well. Hi, Miss Blogger. But yeah, no, I totally feel that because so the story I'm working on, it's an adult steampunk fantasy, and I wrote the first draft about like a year ago, and so I'm coming back to it with fresh eyes, which is nice. But I realized like it's not quite working in some ways. Like I didn't know the characters as well as I thought I did. And so I was like, okay, let me go back to the drawing board, like relearn these characters, like who are they, what are their motivations, and come back and write the story. And then I kept getting just like stuck with like where they're going and how do they get to like just I've been very stuck the whole
I
month of
feel like we're
November.
kind of in the
I've
same
been
boat, but
so
you're in
stuck.
draft 2 and I'm in
Yes.
draft 1. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been like so stuck. I like the last week I was kind of doing the thing what you mentioned earlier, which is the staring at the outline and like trying to reorganize things and not writing. And but I feel like I made a breakthrough recently, but I also thought that like 2 weeks ago. So we will see.
I'm constantly feeling like that. Like I'll get a new idea. I'm like, perfect, this solves it. And then I actually try to like integrate it into what I have. And I'm like, wait,
Never mind.
I'm confused again.
Regrets.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is everyone else working on? Hopefully everyone else is less stuck than we are. Hi. Yes, we will all be waiting with bated breath. Okay, Saoirse. Okay. I got it. Saoirse. All right. Hi, Gloria. I'm in a very similar place. I honestly haven't touched a draft in almost a week. That has been the vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I abandoned like traditional nano a long time ago.
That's why I was like, should I even ask her how Nano is going? Because
Should I even ask? Like, because like went in with I'm gonna. Well, not actually. I didn't go in with 50K. I went in like I'm going to complete draft 2, and I needed to add like at least 20-30K words to it. And like no, we just need to figure it out. That's the goal. The goal of November is to just figure out what we're doing.
No, because I remember like at the very beginning of November, you posted like I failed Nano already. And I was like, it's like November 2nd.
It was so early.
Honestly, that was such a vibe though. I was like, because I went into November knowing I wasn't even going to pretend I'm doing that Nano.
Yeah, you just were like, I'm just here for the vibes.
Yeah, I was like, I don't like the extra pressure.
Yeah.
No,
that's fair. Also, this sounds like a lot of fun preparing for a D&D session. Are you like DMing? Miley? Finishing up some photography for work, but hoping to get so right for the sprint. Okay, awesome. I also like the work, like that's work. Like there's work and there's work. I like that.
Yep.
I'm editing draft 3 of my sci-fi romance, almost at the end of Act 1. Congratulations.
Congrats.
Snaps. Okay, plotting today. Haven't written in a few days. Like we've said, is a vibe. I'm maybe going to work on my urban fantasy romance today, but also trying to finish a sweater I'm knitting. So I might just hang out. That sounds fun.
Love knitting.
Yes, I've barely written this week, so hoping to feel inspired, motivated tonight and this weekend. We are hoping the same for ourselves.
Hopefully in this stream, I'll crack the code.
Hopefully, yes, we'll crack the code here. Okay, I love the challenge. Oh, the last challenge you're doing, it's 100K by January. I think since everyone is doing it different, I think since everyone is doing different things this November, it kind of helped throw perfection out the window. I totally agree with that. Yeah. Like everyone is just kind of doing their own like November or Q4 challenge.
Yep.
Yeah. You're the DM. That's so cool. It's a fairy tale mashup campaign, and we're on Mount Olympus right now. So I always get inspired when I prep for this. I've got 2K words in the prep doc. Lol. That is awesome.
That just sounds so fun.
That sounds so fun. Trying to finish the first draft by the end of the month. I believe in you, Gloria. Snaps for you. Not ready.
I am not okay.
Not ready. We are unwell.
I'm so excited.
Unwell.
This is not okay. I'm so obsessed. I can't.
And I'm going to plug in Caitlin here because I think Caitlin just put up a video that is, tell us about the video. The arcade. Because I just saw the thumbnail and got excited.
Yeah. Well, I went through, because I'm like so obsessed. I recently rewatched it. I was like, how did they weave all of these character arcs in such a complex story together? I was just in awe, like storytelling wise, not even getting to like the characters and what's actually going on, just in terms of like the writing itself. I'm like, how did they pull this off? I need to understand how these writers are such geniuses. So I did kind of like a deep dive into the creators. I searched for like interviews.
Oh, that's so cool. I'm like, cannot wait to watch this.
There was so much. Honestly, I didn't go that far into detail because I found a different video. I should actually add, I'm going to go back in and add that video because theirs is like an hour plus long.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I didn't want to go that deep because just like editing wise, I was like, I don't think I have the bandwidth to work on an hour-long video.
Yeah.
You know, while I'm still writing. But I really want to look at the writing advice more so than like breaking down, you know, the structure of the show itself. But I was just going through different tips and tricks that the Arcane writers said. There was one specific like Reddit thread where they were answering different people's questions before season 2 came out. So they were like, hey, we're the creators of Arcane, you know, popping in
AMA, all is wild.
So I was like, perfect. And I was just, you know, stalking through all of their answers, and they had really great gems about just writing advice and how they structured everything, different tools they used. And so I thought, I was like, this is great.
I think there's gold in there. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like other writers could really benefit, especially myself. Like there were so many things in there that made me step back and realize that I could implement all of these into Project Paradise, which is what I'm working on right now. So yeah.
Okay, I'm excited to watch it, but yeah, I bet there's like gold tips in terms of just like writing, craft, storytelling, all of that. The master doc is almost at for 12K words. Oh, for the campaign, committing regarding Arcane.
Yep.
I'm gonna write my literary fiction novel. You got this, Faith. Hi, Alyssa. Mostly for the next while, but here for the good vibes. Welcome in. The writing is very insane. It's fantastic. Okay. All right. I guess we've been like yapping long enough and we can like write or something. I guess we can like write or whatever. Or just like stare at the cursor. Whichever fits our flight of fancy. Let me update the clock. How long of a sprint are we thinking for this first one?
How long do you typically do one?
I generally prefer longer sprints because I realize like I need like a warm up almost. So I like 30 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, I can do longer, but I think to start off like 30 minutes. Go low, go long. 30 minutes? How's 30? All right, let's do it. All right. Oops. Okay, that should be good. What's happening? I don't know what I'm doing. Wait a minute.
I'm so
Here we
glad
go.
we're in charge.
I know. We got this. We're experts here, guys. All right. Share the screen. I know. Okay. So, and I think I've got like rain sounds going on. Can you hear it? Like light rain? It's very, very quiet.
No.
No? That's okay. No, we're not even going to worry about it. Okay, guys. We're not even going to worry about it. 30-minute stream, 30-minute live sprint. Let's do this.
Good luck, everyone.
How did it? Oh no, that's horrible. Okay.
That
Okay.
was good.
How did it go?
Um, I think I got around 200 words.
Oh, that's good. You
Yeah.
got words down. You got words down.
Yeah. How about you? How'd it go?
I got a lot of other stuff done. I changed to sweatpants
You got
for
the outfit
starters,
change.
and I did get dinner. And I did get some words down, but it's kind of hard to. I don't think a lot. Probably only like 50 words, but there was a lot of reorganization going on.
Yeah.
So I try to like fit things in, and I figured out where to put a particular passage. So I'm happy about that.
I always find starting to be the hardest part. Like, that's
Mm-hmm.
why I'm always checking the word count the
Yeah.
most. I'm like, 10 minutes already went
And
by.
I
How
only wrote like 4
50 words
words.
in? Yeah.
That's why I was saying like I generally prefer longer sprints because I almost like need to warm up.
Yeah.
And then like the words flow and I get into it and it's great. But like initially I'm just like derping around.
Yeah. I feel like I need some kind of like trick.
Mm-hmm.
I saw this thing where I forget whose video was, but he was talking about one trick he does to like psychologically get himself to write. He stops writing the day before in like the middle of a word. So then when he comes back to the page, he just finishes that word and then it'll like
Oh,
trick your
whoa.
brain into
Like you're in
thinking
the
you've
middle.
accomplished something. Yeah, so it kind of gets you started
Wow.
quicker.
I don't know if I would remember what I was thinking.
And that's what I was thinking too. I was like, what if it's a
Like,
short word and
right. Or I'm sure maybe he puts like notes like to the side or something like notes about like where he's trying to go with this passage or something. Cause I feel like I would just completely lose the plot. Like I'd show up and be like, why are they here?
yeah. Yeah.
Ah, I got halfway through seeing your editing. Great. Congrats. Rereading 198. That's pretty good for it, especially if you're like rereading passages.
Mhm.
That is solid. Still doing work. But yeah, it's like another thing that I realized is like I was almost like stifling myself with trying to fit passages that I already written like into the new version, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I just almost like started like rewriting it, and then when I thought of a passage that would fit, then I go like looking for it, and that seemed to be helpful. So it
That
does
makes
like
a lot of
feel
sense.
like a rewrite in a sense, not just like a puzzle piece thing. But
I wanted to ask about your whole premise because, like, what aspects of Arcane are present, and then what parts are
mhm,
like the Incredible Hulk? Because I'm not too familiar with like the Incredible Hulk
mhm.
plot themes.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like I think it's more of like the genre like monster in the house, and so it's the arcane vibes come from like the sibling dynamic, and I wouldn't say like they're like the siblings in arcane. They generally like each other a little bit more, but kind of exploring like that dynamic when one person leaves and comes back, if that makes sense. So that's kind of like where the arcane
Mm,
vibes are coming from, as well as a little bit of a setting in terms of like top side, like lower levels, like that sort of thing.
yeah.
So that sort of setting is like the arcane vibes, and then the Incredible Hulk vibes is kind of monster in the house. Like there's a monster like doing destructo things, and where's it
Okay,
coming
okay.
from, and like figuring that out.
I see.
Yeah, without
Ooh.
like giving away too much.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Gotta keep the
that's what it is.
suspense.
Gotta keep it suspenseful. But yeah, yeah. Ooh. Mariah says, I've been writing down my ideas for the next scene. So when I come back, I have a starting point. It definitely helps a lot. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Like having like notes on the side so that you know where you're picking up again. Because I would
One thing I
definitely just
wanna
leave it.
try to do is, like, writing down, like, kind of outlining the scene that I wanna write for the next day, the night
Mm,
before,
that's smart.
because I feel like that would actually help a lot, because I do feel like once I sleep on things,
Hmm.
I kind of solve a bunch of the problems
Yeah. It's like
that
when your
from the
brain
night
is like
before.
unsupervised,
Yeah. Yeah,
it
and I
like
feel like
figures
it
it
needs
out.
that rest, that downtime to process everything, and then once I wake up, like, full of energy, then I can
Then
kind
you
of work
can,
the
oh,
scene.
what the? Don't tell me what to do. Okay. Pause that. Okay, but oh, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Miley says, "You're killing me with the siblings." I do really like writing about siblings. Like my first, like Children with Gifts sibling, like kind of the center of that is also siblings.
Are you an older or younger sibling?
I'm an older sibling. Yeah, I'm an older first-gen immigrant sibling.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna.
It just
That's a very
it's
specific.
yep. It's just
Kinda,
its
yeah.
own. Just
Yep.
stories for days. Basically, I just like pull from the hat of the first-gen older sibling
It's like
experience.
one thing after the other. Do you
You
feel
get
like
it.
when you're
Get it.
writing the siblings, you gravitate more towards the older one then because you kind of resonate more with that experience, or is it more like you have more fun writing from the younger sibling perspective because you kind of wish you had that, you
I
know?
honestly like I find that I like don't necessarily see myself like in the characters very much, or even like my younger sibling in the stories very much. Like I think they're definitely like separate characters, and I don't really put
Mhm.
too much of myself into it in terms of the character. However, in terms of like the dynamic, yeah, there's a lot of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like in terms of like the dynamic between the two of them, I think I'm drawing a lot from like my experiences.
Mhm.
But like the
Oh,
characters don't necessarily like feel like me or feel like my sister, sort of thing.
yeah, that's
If that
interesting.
makes sense.
Mhm.
Yeah. Question that I wanted to ask you, and I can answer it if later as well. But um, what books or what books like inspire you to write, or inspired you to write?
I feel like I only like I stopped reading after a certain point for pleasure just because
Mm-hmm.
I had to do so much reading for school. So like the last times I really remember like liking reading
Mm-hmm.
was when I was deep in like my fantasy phase. So for me, that was a lot of Cassandra Clare
Yeah,
and specifically the Dark Artifices. Like I started reading her when she published the first like City of
The
Bones.
City of Bones. Yeah.
Yeah, and then that kind of got me into it. But I think my favorite couple from that would be the Dark Artifices, like Emma and Julian.
Mhm.
Like
I don't know if I'm
I
familiar with that. But
I
did
feel
I
like it
miss
has
this?
more darker tone.
Dark Artifices.
I think I gravitate more towards like darker
Yeah,
books like
fantasy.
Wuthering
Okay.
Heights. Yeah, so
Yeah, definitely darker.
yeah. So
Okay.
I don't know. I like how intense those books feel.
You like big feelings, like
Yeah.
intense feelings.
I feel like if it doesn't destroy you, then what's the point? You know, like, if I like, I'm not
If
here
I'm
for,
not a
like, a
puddle at the
little
end,
light
like what am I even
ride.
doing here? If I'm not
Yeah,
broken, why am I even here?
exactly,
That's so funny,
because
but
like,
so
that's
fair and valid.
like, you wanna be pulled out of your life, you know? At least for me, that's what it is. It's like you want more of, like, an escape to a whole different world, and yeah.
Yep. Yeah. No, I agree. Like I have almost like a love-hate relationship with like the character dying sort of thing. Like part of me is, especially with fantasy, it's like it'd be more believable if like characters die in war. Like that makes
Yeah,
sense. And so like when all the characters survive at the end, it's to a degree to me it's less believable if that makes sense.
yeah.
But at the same time, I don't want any of the characters to die. I want them all to survive. And so but I also like want the pain. It's like I don't
I've
know what I want.
I've grappled with this too because 'cause I'm like, from a writer perspective, which one makes the most sense, right? Because,
Mhm.
like, I do want the happy endings, like, I do believe, like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, we were having that conversation earlier about, like, trauma and, like, not
Mhm.
like, we don't need all that trauma, right? Like, we
Right.
want
Like
to
I
give
thought this
them
was
the happy
escapism.
endings.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, if you really want that full impact, people have to die.
People have to go. People have
You
to
can't just
go.
keep them all alive because it's to me that like that's where I kind of like got mad at like Sarah J. Maas's books because I feel
Oh
like they
yeah,
all just like they all lived and I'm like why are they all alive like
not believable.
yeah I'm
That's
like
so true though. And they bring them back if they like almost die. And I'm like, that doesn't count.
because especially if you have like, especially like with epic fantasy where you have such big battles, like
Like
it's so
huge
unrealistic.
stakes.
Like
Yeah.
nobody dies. You're telling me nobody, like none of the main cast dies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because
Like,
they're on feed crying, right? You know what I mean? I'm like crying at the like you think something happened, and then it's like, hold on a second, they're not even dead. Why am I crying? Right?
why
So
am I
it kind of feels
crying?
like you're cheated. You got cheated out of the crying.
Right. Yeah. No, I totally feel that too. Because I think with Sarah J. Maas and yeah, because I feel like they in some of the books, I think if I'm remembering them correctly, like they die and come back, and I'm like, no, cut them
Yeah,
off for
and then
good.
like there has to be like a good reason. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like I don't know. I just feel like
Yeah.
she just wanted them alive and
Like
to have their happy ending,
you
which like
have to
I
kill the darlings.
understand, but it's
Yeah.
cheating. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I feel like too, that's why I'm a huge, I don't know, is anyone like a Marvel fan in here? Like Marvel Cinematic Universe sort of person? But a huge MCU person up until frankly Avengers Endgame, like everybody else.
Yeah,
And then after that kind of checked out. But like I feel what was like so great about the whole arc is like Tony Stark died was
yeah.
like huge. And I felt like that was like a good thing for them to do. Like no, and also like Natasha dying. Like no, not everyone is gonna like survive this is like a very high stakes like adventure. And so yeah. And it sucks.
I feel like that, like, do you know what I mean? Like that's
But
why
it
I'm
hurts
here.
so good.
I'm here for the pain.
It hurts so
Like,
good. Other people
yeah.
are understanding as well. Why do I even bother? Right. Yeah. I think in the story I'm working on right now, I kind of had this realization with killing off characters. I was like, I need to kill somebody off, and I decided
Mhm.
who it's going to be. And
Yeah.
it seems easier because I've made this decision so early. Like, to me, I'm kind of redrafting, and so I'm like, I've accepted it. So it's easier to write it right now.
I agree because I kind of know who I want to die already, so that it'll make it way easier because I've known since the beginning. So I'm like,
Right.
the death serves a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's also like you don't. I don't know. I go back and forth because like yes, their death serves a purpose, but I also still want to leave the character full autonomy. Like I don't want
Yeah,
them
I
to
don't want them
just
to
like
be.
be a plot device, like that it's
Mm-hmm.
propelling some other characters,
Yeah.
growth in their arc. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like, how do you do
That's hard.
service to this character's arc, but they also still die? So,
But they still have to go. That's yeah, no, that's very true. And I think I'm still kind of figuring that out because that's what I'm worried about with this character dying. That it is more of like a plot device, and it does help propel the story forward. But he is like a very full fledged like character,
yeah.
and I don't want him to just kind of be a plot device. But yay, Marvel! Chapters I'm editing are all about a character dying, and I love the pain. Yes. Do you feel like it's worth it to kill off minor characters if it could have minimal impact on the reader? Ooh,
Okay, so I feel like when I watch like anime or shows and like all the like background characters, like especially if there's like a fight scene or something and people are just they just easy like I feel like those characters all just die with like
mhm.
minimal, like nobody really cares.
Okay, yeah,
And
like
I
impact on
kind
the
of
story.
don't like that because I'm like, these people should also like there should be some kind of, you know what I mean? Like not only the main cast should have the plot armor or
Mhm.
I don't know,
Mm,
like we should still care about these other like innocent bystanders and civilians. Like you see that especially like in MCU and Marvel,
yeah,
and I feel like they kind of addressed it. Like they
later.
a little bit. They're like, oh yeah, like all these buildings that
I
you
know
guys
these
are
buildings
destroying
fell,
stuff,
people died. Yeah,
right? Yeah. So
yeah, no, that's fair. I
I
think
don't
if you
know.
can like make that if the minor character like the background characters or whatever if they die and you can still have that sort of like emotional impact, I think that's super meaningful, and I don't know how to do that, like kind of coming off like right off the dome. I don't know.
Well, not to bring this back to Arcane, but
Hmm.
yes.
But yes,
Oh wait, oh
Arcane
my
is
God, wait. I can't
S tier.
spoil anything. Never
Oh,
mind.
that's true because we don't know where everyone else is. Yeah.
Actually, I don't
Okay.
because I don't know if
Yeah,
you
never
watch
mind.
things, but I was gonna say something about like one of the characters without spoiling anything. Okay, so one of the characters is a minor character, like gets zero screen
Hmm.
time. We don't understand anything really, but they make an appearance
Hmm.
alongside one of the main characters,
Hmm.
and they end up dying as a consequence of one of the main character's actions.
Gotcha.
And that main character kind of realizes after that person's death, like, oh, I didn't even know this
Oh,
person that well. You know what I mean? Like they're kind of realizing
yeah. No, that's true.
that
You did do a
this
good job with
person's
that.
death is impacting my character growth in a way. But
Yeah.
since they acknowledged it, they were kind of like, I didn't know anything about this person. I feel really bad. Like I don't even know where I could spread their ashes, where they would have wanted me to do this. And so I
Mhm.
think by acknowledging that as a trope and then kind of working with it, and then I feel like they bring that character back
Yeah, I
later
think I know who you're
on.
talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I felt
Mhm.
like that is a trope where you're just using a female character's death to
Mhm.
further a male character's
There's plot.
growth, but I think they were aware of that trope and they kind of acknowledged it and used
Yeah.
it.
Subverting it.
Yeah, so
Yeah. I think that's what it is, like subverting the trope. So acknowledging it like in the story and then like we're like taking it like in the opposite direction or just a different direction.
yeah, so I feel like that's just one way to do it. I'm sure
Mhm.
there are other
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm. Or I can't think of like any stories that do this off the top of my head, but I feel like I've read this where minor character dies and then at the very like end of the book you realize like he was a very important person.
Ooh.
Yeah, I feel like this is like I can't think of anything right now, but I feel like I've seen like a movie that does this.
Yeah.
Like a minor character dies and you forget about it and you're like, "Oh, snap, that guy." Like at
That
the
would be
end.
crazy
Yeah,
actually.
that's actually wild. Everyone go write that.
Wait, that's
But
such
I
an
can't think
interesting
of
idea.
yeah, I
I
can't
kinda
think of
wanna
like
use
the idea.
that.
You should do it. Yeah, I mean, it's a great idea. But yeah, and it's been done before because I'm pretty sure I've seen it somewhere. I just like can't remember.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's all about like how you execute it.
Yeah,
I like
exactly.
what Brandon Sanders has said. He said like ideas are cheap, but it's how you execute it. So
Yeah.
you should
Yeah.
do it. Mm. It could serve a purpose later on to another character's journey. That's true. Yep. Arcana is so good. Okay. How are we feeling about another sprint? Maybe the last one. Because I think in
Yeah.
30 minutes, I feel like I want to say like Brielle, Cody, Alyssa are maybe are going live in about half an hour. And so we can
Yeah.
run up until
Whether
then and then we'll hop into their stream.
I was
Well,
gonna
that's what
say
we're gonna
that.
do.
I was like, whether we're here or over there,
We're all
still
gonna be
wanna be
together,
heard.
guys.
Right, yeah.
Yep, we're all gonna be together. So I'll do like 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good.
We're warmed up now.
Yeah, we're warmed up. We're warmed up. Okay. 25. Start. Oh no. Start over. There we go. What am I doing? Oh, this. No, that's not right. Dear Lord, I'm a mess.
My dog is here too.
All right, I'll just start it here and I'll figure out where to put our faces in a second.
Okay.
But good luck, everybody, and wish me
Good
luck as well.
luck.
How was that?
Good.
I think actually that was a bit better. I think I got maybe 200-ish words. Getting kind of hard to like guess, but
That's good.
not bad, not bad. What about you? How'd it go?
I think that was like 150 words for that session. So total, it was like 350 words.
There you go. We're getting words down, and that's what matters. But okay, so I'm pretty sure. I'm like, let me double check. I think I'm not making that up, right? Their stream starts 6 Central. Yeah, it's coming up. Okay, so in that case, it's so great for everyone who stopped by to say hi and to work with us and to write with us. We appreciate you being here. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for coming. Definitely go and check out Caitlin. Caitlin, would you like to plug your socials?
I am at Kaylee Faye. That is my pen name, but my name is Caitlin the Writer. That's where you can find me on YouTube. I post weekly videos related to writing advice and writing vlogs. So I hope to see you guys there. And thank you all for chatting with us.
Yeah, thanks for chatting. Thanks for coming. And we'll see you all in the other sprint. Bye, guys. Yeah.